BIOPLUS with BIOPLUS. Let's give you that surge to get you across the line. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Real feel-good vibes this morning. I know our matric's bittersweet at the moment, nearing the end of the finals. What a stretch, and we are here to support and hopefully keep you guys motivated. Now, this final leg of the exams can be the most stressful as it becomes tougher to keep up that motivation, that focus, and of course, the discipline. We talk so much about consistency. You just got to keep pushing. And here to give our students a few more tips on how to stay motivated through the final stretch of the exams is educational psychologist Dr. Sharon Aitken. This is where it gets real. But there is also a kind of release. And I suppose because so much pressure has been put on us, it's been such a build-up, years of getting to this point. So we can understand why this is so stressful. That being said, we need to manage it. We need to get through this final phase. In your work, I'm sure this is an area that you have to deal with a lot because it is now the pinnacle of all schooling. How do we approach these final few weeks? Because it's all boiling down to literally these last few performances now.
Yeah, and most people by this stage are really, really tired.
Haggard.
So
yeah.
The two things I was trying to think, what would be the best for them to hear? And the one is, I think, why? Why are you studying? And have a really good image in your mind, a positive image of what it is you're wanting to achieve.
And these have got to be like good positive answers, eh? Like
not just, I don't want to fail, but I want to pass.
Hopefully you can answer that question. No,
I want to be with my
yeah.
peers next year. I have this vision of me being a successful, whatever it is that you've decided to be, but have that in your head because that lifts your spirits quite a lot.
Motivates you, yeah.
And once you've got that a little bit more energy back, then you've got to answer the what, how question. It's like, what do I actually need to get through this year?
Practical.
Or to get through this, yes, what do I need? And for some people, if you're just going for a pass, then maybe all you have to then do is focus on making sure you got the basics right.
Yeah.
You don't have to cover everything. Okay, that sounds wrong. But you don't have to cover everything to the same degree as if you're pushing for an 80. So it's about knowing what it is that you want to achieve and why you're doing it so you can have the inspiration. That lifts you.
I think do away with the self-judgment and the emotional judgment, because I think I held myself up to a genius sister who got, I'm sure, 6 or 7 distinctions in matric. So I was always like, I'm going to do that. And it was an unrealistic expectation. But the why is probably the most important. When I help kids now bridge that gap after school, most of them haven't even asked themselves why they want to be a lawyer, why they want to go into TV, why they want to do these things. And trust me, when the chips are down, the why is the most important.
It is.
You need that motivator. I get that. As parents, thankfully, my kids aren't there, but I sat coaching one of my really good friends yesterday whose daughter's only 10, and he had to go home and study maths with her, and he was stressing out. So now we know when our maths runs out, what role do we as parents have to play?
I thought about this quite intensely, and I want to share this one thing with you. I want to share with you what you don't do.
Okay.
Especially at this time period. Do not start with the shaming. You should be studying more. Why are you on your screens? Why are you in the garden? Because what happens then is the child or the adolescents become so focused on that negative aspect and the sort of the conflict that you've engendered, and they're sitting there thinking about all the comebacks they should have had, and you know, and they stew on it for literally hours and hours. And it's a waste of energy that could have been so much more productive. So most parents know, help them get to sleep, you know, give them good food, but just treat them with care emotionally and be careful about your speech.
Yeah.
What is it you're saying? Do you actually need to say this? Do you need to say, oh, you're on your phone again? Don't you think you should be studying? It's not going to be helpful now. Maybe after exams to reflect back on the process of going through the exams, but not now.
Great, but not in the moment. Again, let's be practical.
Yes.
What do you need to do is think of yourself as those guys running on the side of the road with like a nice little energy boost or something during a marathon, because this is the phase of the marathon where they need that. They don't need high kind of praise. They don't need massive negativity. They just need practical help. I get that. That being said, we need the energy. We need the mental focus. How can we ensure that we've got that push for the final push?
Yeah. So 2 things. One, as you know, sleep. Get your 8 to 10 hours of sleep, diet, all of that stuff. We've hashed that before. The other thing that's really interesting is monitoring your concentration levels while you are studying. And as you get towards the end of exams and you're burning out, your concentration span is going to be shorter.
That threshold gets less and less.
So you go up, you plateau, and then you drop. Now, you've got to monitor that drop
Correct.
because you don't want to be forcing yourself to study when you're down here. This is where you must now break. And you must take a 10 to 15 minute rest. And then you should hit the plateau again up the top there, study. Otherwise, you're going to push yourself for hours. I see it all the time, studying down here, and that is not helpful because
the retention's not going to be there.
Nothing's going in. And then they become frustrated. The more you become frustrated, the less goes in. It like bounces off your head. So,
and then that becomes negative and disparaging in its
well, exactly,
in its nature
and you
itself,
start the downward spiral.
Do you come in a pocket size that we can just send out to all of our matriculants this morning? We're just going to send you a nice little Christmas gift. Thank you so much. I know how passionate you are about this phase. So please, let's take our cue off this energy, this positive, chilled, keep it practical kind of energy. And if you need a bit of help, BioPlus is there to boost your mental vitality and your physical energy as well. And one lucky viewer stands the chance of winning a study hamper to the value of 2,000 Rand from BioPlus. Sharon doesn't come with that, sorry. Simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's social pages and tell us, how do you motivate yourself to keep studying for the final exams? A really interesting question. And remember to include that competition hashtag BioPlusExam. The competition closes Tuesday, 22nd of November at noon, so not a huge amount of time. But you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Stay calm and carry on. You guys have got this. Be more plus with BioPlus.